welcome My Metro Medicine. In this month, we're going to focus on the joints of the body. We're going to teach you a little bit about some exercises on how to loosen them up, how to reduce some of those aches and pains, and to prevent them from coming back. Here we go. In this first set of exercises, we're going to work on the hands and the wrist. Anyone who has ever had anything related to carpal tunnel syndrome, you're probably familiar with some of the tests that they perform, like the Phelan's test, where they're pushing with the hands and also tapping on the median nerve to determine what kind of pain or sensations you may have. Now, these exercises are meant to help prevent these things from developing. They're not meant to help cure you from whatever illness you particularly may have. So practice these regularly, but be very cautious. If you have any strange sensations, then please stop and maybe try to go back to another exercise, check with your physician, or even send us an email and we can give you some feedback before you go any farther, okay? First exercise, we're going to take a look at the hands again. And a lot of the times when you're trying to loosen up the hands, what you're doing is you're squeezing them, right? Getting them warm. You might have used one of these things before, a little stress ball. Is that good to develop some grip strength? That's excellent, but that means your hands are only working in one direction. They're not going the other direction. Otherwise, we would be dropping this thing all over the place. So, in order to go both directions, you can still perform this exercise, and I'm going to give you a new one. Follow me. Push your hands out as far as you can in front of you with your arms straight, and open your fingers as wide as possible. The next part is bring them all the way in and squeeze as tight as possible. And then open, and then squeeze, and then open and squeeze, and open and squeeze, open and squeeze. Good. Now let's try it again, but we're going to speed up slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Getting faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Squeeze and shake them out. Okay. You probably notice your forearms getting a little tired while you do that, and that's okay. Slowly increase the speed and adjust the strength as necessary. Next thing you want to be able to do is loosen up the wrist. So from here, if we take one hand and we extend it out, like you want to maybe shake someone's hand, or we're turning it upwards, grab your fingers from the front and gently pull down. If this is difficult to do from an extended position with your arm, drop the elbow next to your body and just gently push your fingers down. Now what I like to do is I don't like to leave my thumb all alone. So I'll gently pull that down with the rest of the fingers. Now again, I mentioned that you're only going one direction when you're doing something like this, squeezing that medicine ball. So we have to go both directions, which means turn your hand down, palm down. Gently put your hand above the knuckles and push gently down. So we've gone from here, gently pushing, to here, gently pushing. When you do this, do it for about 10 seconds and then flip over, do the other side. When you're finished, a light shake and repeat, other side. 1, pull back, remember, extended with the shoulder down. This is not coming up like this. Shoulder down. Or elbow in, still with the shoulder down, and you notice I got my thumb already. So pull this down gently, feel the stretch throughout your fingers, through the palm of your hand, and a little bit into your wrist and forearm. Flip it over, above the knuckles, gently push down. Now you notice I'm grabbing the whole hand here. I'm not just pushing with the top right here. I want to grab the whole hand and gently press down. Okay, when you're finished, a little shake. And then the one that we all like to do, which is push and lift. Good, and down. And then you can also, if you like, you can push the other way. Pull your hands towards you. Okay, give it another shake. Good, nice job. Those are some easy exercises for your wrist, your hands, and your fingers. Now, let's try our feet. Here we go. Okay, everybody, let's move on to our feet. So the first exercise is very easy to help stretch out the lower leg as well as the bottom of the foot, because if you've ever had any symptoms or suffered from plantar fasciitis, it's not fun. I've had a lot of patients and I've worked a lot with them in terms of acupuncture, but I've also taught them exercises such as these. Very easy. So from this position, you're going to turn. Always good idea to have your hand on something to keep yourself stable and well balanced. One foot in front, pointed in that direction. Other foot behind you, pointing in the same direction. Keep both legs straight to start and both feet flat. Then, your front leg, just bend your knee, coming forward. Good. As you do this, keep the back leg straight, keep the back foot flat, and the heel down. If you don't feel anything yet, bring it forward and extend that position. So for me, this is a little bit better than the first one. And this, I can feel all the way down into my calf and a little bit into the bottom of my foot. Then I can come back and do the other side. One foot in front, other foot in back. Maybe I want to make this one a little bit longer. And pressing the knee forward, keeping both feet flat. And we're done. Very easy to get down through the calf into the bottom of the foot, especially if there's a lot of tension down there. If you don't feel a lot of tension in the stretch, chances are you're probably pretty loose or you need a longer and lower stance, maybe, okay? Always be careful. Next one, we're gonna do, very simple, going up and down on our toes, but we're gonna take it to another level because there's always, like the medicine ball exercise where you're squeezing in one direction. We don't want to just go up and down like this. So starting from the side, I have my hand on something stable, you should too. Coming up and down onto the feet, one and down, but here's the extra part. Lift your toes and then push up and down. Lift the toes all the way up, lift the toes all the way up. We're rocking back and forth, but we're not rushing. We're not just going like this. Up and hold, and down. Controlling the movement all the way, 100%. Okay? Now, if you are comfortable, you can try it without holding on to that ledge. Just like this. Nice job. Okay? But be careful with that. Only do it if you're comfortable with it and if you are aware that you have the balance to do so. The other way is to also bring your feet very close together and try the same thing. We can always make it a little harder. That's one of the things that I do. So take your time. Last exercise, you're gonna need one item, which is a blanket or a towel, something that you can use that's easily foldable and it's not all bunchy or really super thick, okay? So if you have something like that, go ahead and grab it. And I also have another thing, but you don't need it for this one. So let's try out this exercise. Here we go. All right, everybody, in this round of exercises for the feet, I have a couple things with me. Number one, I have my blanket. Number two, I have a ball. It's actually signed by Nolan Ryan, if you remember him. Well, it's printed on there, but I've had it since I was a kid. And I have this wonderful, beautiful purple unicorn chair. Check it out. Isn't that cute? It's got a horn and everything. Okay, belongs to my daughter, but it's the perfect height for this exercise. So what you see is just a little bit of the blanket. I'm gonna hide the ball out of your viewpoint. And I'm gonna sit back and relax. Your feet on the edge of this blanket, you're gonna slowly curl your toes up, squeeze them in tight, pulling the blanket towards you. And as I do that, eventually, I don't slide my feet on the floor, this ball is gonna come into the shot on the camera. You'll be able to see it. So I'm slowly rolling this towel up, pulling the ball in. Ball gives a little bit extra weight, but it also creates a little challenge for me. And I like a little challenge, and I bet you do too. And then when we're done, if you don't need the ball, you don't need to put it there, but you can just push it back out there. Repeat the same thing. Do it again. You're watching television, okay? Every commercial, do a few of these. If there's no commercials, just do it for the entire show. No, don't do it for the entire show. That's way too long. Okay? How many times? Maybe 2 or 3 rounds to get yourself started, and then slowly work your way up. Once you're finished with that, you can stretch your feet out with some of the exercises that we just did a minute ago, okay? So you need a ball also to do maybe one more exercise. Here, I'm gonna put this on the ground, and I'm gonna put my foot right on top of it. From here, a little roll. Gets that tissue underneath the foot, a little bit of a massage. And then I can do the other side. So allow that to happen slowly, gently. Take your time, especially if you have a lot of tension and maybe some pain under there. This could really trigger that. Okay? All the way up into the heel and into the calf. So that's why the other exercises are just as important. Regardless if you have any issues like plantar fasciitis, you can still do these to prevent those things from happening. Or if you have a hard day and your feet, your legs are a little bit sore, you can go through these rounds of exercises, okay? So that's it. Hands, wrists, feet, ankles, whole bunch of exercises for you to try. Come back, do them each day, but come back and forget which ones they are even later on down the road, a year from now, 10 years from now. You'll think, oh, what was this exercises? Come back to these videos because they'll still be here, okay? Next week, knees and elbows. I'll see you then. Take care.